Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you've all had a great however long it's been since I last uploaded. So I recently finished a run of a show I was in that had been a work in progress for the past 3 months, since about Christmas, and it went very well, I think. And I remembered a couple of things about show week. Now, a lot of you are probably out there thinking, oh, Cherie, all you've been talking about recently is theatre and auditions and acting and drama, and you're like, shut up. But some of you might be like, show me what you've got. And that's what I'm gonna do. Now, show week, as any of you theatre-y kids are gonna know, is full of trials and tribulations and smiles and laughs and tears, and obviously this doesn't apply if your show is running for more than a week, but you know, amateur over here. So in this video I'm going to cover some of the things that you learn during show week. If this isn't your cup of tea, feel free to just tune out and do some work while you let the sweet dulcet tones of my voice wash over you. So first things first, number 1. This is something that I think most people in a show will experience right before you start show week, and that is how underprepared you are. Or more accurately, how underprepared you feel. Because from an outside perspective, you could look like the most well-organised, put together cast and crew and general production that anyone's ever seen. However, because you know the play, the musical, whatever you're putting on so intimately, you're able to pick up on all the little bits that aren't correct or aren't quite how you envision them. And I think it's also a big thing with directors too. So when it comes to the week before the show and there's still things that you see aren't quite right, it really sets your heart racing. And I think everyone in the cast starts to feel a bit like, shit, we're not ready, shit, we're not gonna be ready. The show's in 3 nights, what are we gonna do? But trust me, you're fine. 2, tech rehearsals are something. You know, you can have a tech day, you can have 2 or 3 tech days. Some shows might even have a tech week. And no one enjoys them, let's be honest, because those are the times when you feel like you get the least amount of work done, and sometimes you have to change particular parts of your show or the piece you're doing that you were perhaps quite fond of. However, it's a necessary part of the show. The tech people are just doing their jobs to make the show as good as possible. Just make sure to bring a book or some snacks or a crossword, because you could be there for a little while. 3, how much goes into actually putting on a show? Again, I think when you're a member of the cast and nothing else, it's very easy to overlook how much goes on behind the scenes of a show, because you're up center and in the front for most of it, and you don't get to see people putting up the scenery, people making the scenery, the lighting, the sound, the director, the amount of work that goes into costumes and actually organising the entire show itself. So it's important to keep humble and make sure that you do actually appreciate the entire production team and not just yourself, the director, your fellow cast members. Everyone has a part to play. And this brings me on to my next point. 4, seriously, chip in with as much as you can, because it's hard putting on a show. And I'm not saying neglect learning your lines or neglect doing all the, you know, backstage things in order to help other people, but lend a hand when you can or when they ask you to, even if it's just on get-in days or get-out days, or if someone wants you to run, you know, sort out a costume or help someone get changed. Just lend a helping hand, because you're all one big family and you're all working to make the show as good as possible, so why wouldn't you help out if you can? 5, you learn how to survive on 500 calories a day. Some people like me just end up not eating during show week because it's so stressful and you're so busy all of the time. And the things you do get to eat are packets of crisps and a little fruit bag from McDonald's. On the other hand, some people eat non-stop because that's how they cope, and the things they get are convenient and they can just store them in their bag. It all depends on the person, and I'm not saying that starving yourself is the way to go. I'm just saying that that's what happens. And trust me, the amount I ate in the week that followed show week made up for the entire thing. So yeah, I am in no way a role model. I never claimed to be. 6. I think you can sleep literally anywhere if you try hard enough. Anything is a bed if you believe it is. The amount of sleep you can run on during show week is ridiculous. And again, this is not a good thing and not something I am at all condoning. Seriously, we had someone sleeping in the bleachers of the theatre at one point. It's a hard week, you know, a lot of hours go into it and it's a very stressful time, but what can you do? Just sleep the entire next day after you finish. That's how I do it. 7. How to change clothes like Superman. You know, you always think when you have a quick change, shit, I'm never gonna be able to do this, I don't have enough time. But when adrenaline and speed and sheer necessity kicks in, you can get changed from full Victorian to a magician's tuxedo if you try hard enough. 8. This one's gonna be unpopular, but you actually have more of a social life than you realise you did. I know, controversial on the internet, but seriously, no one wants anything to do with you until that one week that you are booked the heck up. And obviously you can't cancel show week, you can't cancel your rehearsals, that's unprofessional. So you suck it up, you potentially fit someone in the 2 hours you should have been sleeping, and you postpone those friends. That sounds really bad, doesn't it? 9. You thought you were good at your job? Just wait till the director gives you their notes. Seriously, you are never gonna find a director who is happy with the show and the performance you've put on. Not 100% completely. They're always gonna be able to nitpick at it. And that is a very, very good thing. Even if it does bruise your ego to all hell. Because that means that they have a vision. This is going to sound absolutely so pretentious, but they have a vision and they believe in you enough to be able to fulfill it, even if they know realistically it's never going to happen exactly to perfection the way that they wanted it. But you're a close second, and that's an okay feeling. But in all seriousness, I have never met a director who has ever been able to say 100% that their final product of a show was perfect and exactly what they imagined it to be. And I think that's a good thing, because someone like that is always wanting to improve themselves, and I think you need to have a full cast of it too. Because obviously you want to come out of the show happy with what you did, and I'm not saying that directors etc. won't be, but it's always good to look for improvements. 10. You love your cast. Your cast, no matter if you fight, how much you fight, if you don't get on, who you don't get on with, if you only like a certain amount of people, is your family, and you will learn to love them by the end of the show. I can't describe it, I don't know the science behind it, but there's something about going through months of grueling rehearsals and emotions and training and weird warm-ups and games and a lack of sleep and late night fast food runs that bonds you together. I think you really do form a special kind of bond with them. Maybe it's just because you're all drama kids and you're in a close proximity, and that tends to happen when you're drama kids. But either way, your cast by the end of it will be your family. And 11, which is a bit of a weird number to end on. Nothing beats a good after show party. This I can promise you from first-hand experience. I'm not going to go into detail in case my parents watch this, but yeah. Good times. So there we have it. 11 things that you learn during show week. Some of you may relate to this and think I'm spot on. Some of you may not. Some of you might not have a clue what I've been going on about for the past 10 minutes and are just like, whoa, Shri, do a what's in your bag tag. Just stop with this. But either way, I hope it put a smile on your face, and let me know what you think in the comments down below. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you'd like to see more of me not being able to pick a theme for my videos and struggling to fit everything that I want to do in my YouTube channel into my YouTube channel, because I can't pick a niche to fit myself into because I like too much of everything and I want to cover so much. But anyway, yeah. ding that bell, hit those notifications if you want to see more of this. And don't forget, the email for my advice series that I'll be starting up very, very shortly is in the description down below, so send over a query or a question you'd like my advice on if you fancy it. But anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye! Blah, 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 blah. That's all, folks. Da, 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 da. Then what does he do? He comes, there's a pig, or is there a bunny? And he pops open the screen, and he sticks his head out. I'm trying to describe the Looney Tunes logo, and it's actually sounding a bit odd.